rejected. And so the angels who were his guests blinded those men. And so they were saved.
The first story, Sodom and Gomorrah, absolutely nothing to do with anything. They made up the word sodomy for something that didn't happen at Sodom. As far as the Bible is concerned, there's no sign that there was any sodomy.
In Romans chapter 1, it is very clear that the women have given up their true identity and they slept with fellow women, and the guys also slept with fellow guys. And the Bible says that it is not supposed to happen.
Paul, in the first letter to Romans, the first chapter, verse 26, Paul says women were doing shameful things with women and men were doing shameful things with men. And what do you think's in the first 25 verses? Condemnation of pagan worship.
Sa aking paniniwala, kami lang at ang Panginoong Diyos ang nag-uusap. Walang taong sino man makakapaghusga sa aking relasyon sa kapwa ko lalaki. Diyos lang ang nakakaalam kung sino ako at kung ano ako.
The Lord detests homosexuals.
I really do not believe that God can permit us, His children, to suffer or get hurt.
God is forgiving. Tinatanggap ng Panginoon ang lahat ng tao at saka humingi siya ng kapatawaran. Sinasabi nila kasalanan daw sa Diyos ang pagiging isang ganito. Diyos ba sila para sabihin sa akin yung gano'n?
As long as I give what is due them as a human being without looking at kung ano yung stature nila, I think my relationship with God is
sa pananaw at katandami ng mga tao. Hindi sa mga.
God was very clear in his warning to the people of Israel about being attracted to the same sex.
Hindi po bakla ako. Lahat na ng ginagawa ng mga bakla, paniniwalaan ko or bibilib ako. Hindi. And that is the reason kung ba't ang mga bakla, naghahanap kami ng boyfriend, naghahanap kami ng taong magmamahal sa amin at taong mamahalin din namin. Na naniniwala kami, kung mahal namin ang kasex namin, hindi kami mapupunta sa impyerno pag namatay kami.
1 Corinthians 6:9, St. Paul says, the murderers, the robbers, and the thieves, and if you look in your English Bible, it says, and the homosexuals can't go to heaven.
Sila Diyos dapat hindi sila mag-judge para sa amin. Hindi sila ang dapat magsabi na hindi kami makakarating sa langit.
The murderers, the robbers, the thieves, and the homosexuals. That's a very, very bad translation. Because Paul wrote in Greek, and he wrote the Greek word for murder, the Greek word for robbers, the Greek word for thieves, but he didn't write the Greek word for homosexuals. He wrote malakoi and arsenokoitai. Now, malakoi means soft.
Ang gusto ni Lord, pag makapag-sex kami mga bakla, dapat may feelings. At yung lalaki din may feelings in return sa amin kahit 1%.
In 1 Corinthians 6:9, it says that homosexuals are not going to heaven, they're going to hell.
Huwag akong linyahan ng mga passages at mga quotable quotes from the Holy Bible kasi alam ko rin yan. Mataas ang grade ko sa theology. Sa Pontifical University of Santo Tomas ako nag-aaral.
Now, what I know is that Paul could not have said what the English Bible says, homosexuals. Oh my God, they were out to get us on that one. They just said, well, let's throw the homosexuals in because we don't know what it means.
Maraming mga aktibo sa simbahan na mga religious laymen na bading. Mga hermana mayor, bading. Mga nag-aayos ng karosa, bading. Mga pare, yung iba, bading. Yung mga humahaligi sa mga pare, bading. Ako, bading. Si Lord, mahal niya ako, kahit bading ako.
Up to this point in time, specifically to the normal one, those who have embraced the so-called heterosexual relationship, sa kanila, it is a taboo. Why? They're outnumbered.
Paul could not have said homosexual for the same reason that Paul could not have said, I will take an airplane the next time I go to Rome. I'm tired of these slow ships. 2,000 years ago, no airplane. Same thing about homosexuals. 2,000 years ago, there was no word homosexual. In Rizal's time, 100 some years ago, the psychiatrist said, there are people who have the same-sex attraction. They seem to be born that way. Let's call them homosexuals. That's when they invented that word. In Paul's time, they thought everybody was straight. But some people were doing same-sex stuff, but they never imagined in their wildest imagination that some people had that orientation. They didn't know there was such a thing. So Paul couldn't have said the murderers of Robert Steve were homosexuals, because he couldn't have thought that thought, because that didn't exist. David fell in love with Jonathan, the son of King Saul.
It is true that David and Jonathan had a very good relationship, close relationship. And Jonathan was ready to protect David from his own father because of the friendship.
They went out in the field. They took off their clothes. And they hugged, and this is the Bible. They hugged and they kissed each other. And they swore an oath to each other.
Hindi kasi alam ng tao kung anong nararamdaman ng isang lalaki na nagmamahal na isang kapwa lalaki. Hindi nila naiintindihan. Kung naiintindihan lang nila at na-assess nila ano pa talagang meron sa kanila na talagang there is really true love and you see manifestations of love, kung alam lang nila at kung naiintindihan sa siya, in due time, most probably.
They give their best, offer their best, and they don't think much of themselves. They offer the best for the object of their love. They love just as we are able to love, right? Because God gave us that capacity to love another person.
Pag uwi sa bahay, hindi ka mapakali, inspired ka, kung ano yung ginagawa mo sa bahay, magugulat na lang yung family mo na usually hindi ka naman nagtatrabaho sa loob ng bahay.
Ang love parang fairy tale yan. Actually, hindi talagang fairy tale na kagaya nung happy ending lagi. So, syempre, sa umpisa maganda, andyan yung kikiligin ka, para kang tanga, alam mo yung, andyan yung nasa shower ka, kakanta-kanta ka kasi in love ka, hindi ka makatulog.
If I don't feel that I'm really into that person, or if I feel that that person is not really into me, I'd rather not go into a relationship. You can be together, you can be friends, you can be gimmick buddies, diba? Pero without the relationship, pwede naman yun eh. I mean,
Kahit sino naman, gusto masaya.
Parang every moment, every minute of my day, I want to give love. But sometimes, I am so scared of giving love and expecting many things in return that the person would, can't give.
Masarap magmahal, pero kakambal nito, paghihirap, pagdurusan ng kalooban. Nadanasan ko na, matagal na, madami na akong karanasan sa pag-ibig.